You are here to sell tickets. You are here to draw money. So you need to, and you're here to also keep yourself a professional at all times. So it's just things that guys should know that maybe they're not being told. I don't know.
Since we last spoke, CM Punk is no longer an employee of AEW. Bill, can you kind of walk me through what all was happening and why we're where we are at this point right now?
To be honest with you, I have now heard about 10 different versions of the story of what happened back there, and I am upset, like I said, that it took the spotlight off that great show at Wembley Stadium, which was absolutely incredible. But I'm going to go back and say what I said before. If you're an employee of the company and things aren't working out and you're starting to disrupt things, or other people are trying to disrupt what you want and things aren't getting along, then get out. And obviously there was a volatile situation between CM Punk and Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and it erupted and there had to be a pull apart, and Tony Khan felt threatened there. So just like any company you would work for, if my boss during the day in my day job felt threatened by me, he has every reason to ask me to leave and terminate me from my position. Right, Teddy?
Well, let me ask you, before you answer that, Teddy, just let me ask you one question, Bill. What did he consider as something that put his safety at danger? What was it that was so bad that he had to fire CM Punk?
Allegedly, he lunged at Tony Khan. I wasn't there. Wow. The word is allegedly. But my situation here with CM Punk can go several ways. Number one, he can just get out of this business and say, I'm sick of this, all these. And yet a few days afterwards, he was at the Cauliflower Alley Club and he accepted the Mike Mazurki Award, which is a very prestigious award. And he seemed fine with everything. I think he was trying to show that he's more mature than perhaps Jungle Boy and the Young Bucks, and that he's just either going to get out of this, or if I were I might even consider starting my own wrestling group down the line and make it the way I want it, not the way I have to listen to someone else.
Teddy?
Well, my thing is this, finally, I can say, we see a little bit of leadership coming from AEW. I wasn't there. I didn't see it, so I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to speculate or speak on something that I don't really know about. But my thing is this. I think somewhere they started off wrong, and that's what led to all this. If you start right, you end up right. So I think way back when CM Punk came in at the beginning, there's something went wrong right at the beginning. Somebody had too much authority or something. But like I said, it didn't start off right. So that's why I keep ending up like it's ending up. But my thing is this, they're showing a little bit of leadership. You know what I mean? I don't see any reason why Punk was fired. But like you say, Bill, somebody said he lunged at Tony Khan. Well, if you lunge at the boss, then you know what I mean, that you have to be fired, I guess. But like I said, I don't really know, but I wish whatever is going on there that they get it straightened out and go back to having a company. Bill, you were saying about CM Punk starting his own deal, you know what I mean? I think he has the money, he could do it, but I don't think anybody would work for him right now. You know what I mean? So I think he would just be better off by maybe just, if he's going to step out of this business, maybe get into something else, just stay relevant. But I don't see him stepping away. I think it might be a good part on WWE's end if they would bring him in for something, you know what I mean? But maybe they sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting, talk with him and get some things straight about what he can do and what he can't do. And I think he'd be a big asset to WWE. I mean, the guy's is hot right now.
CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Can you imagine that?
That needs to be a match. But there is a problem, though. Seth Rollins just recently, in a video statement, talking to a reporter, he was asked about the possibility of CM Punk coming back to WWE. And he was very clear, stay away. I don't want you here. He's a cancer. And he was dead serious when he said that. Although, when it comes to money and it comes to what's best for business, CM Punk in WWE, there are so many different scenarios where they could utilize him in the Cody Rhodes, with Seth Rollins, with any number of people putting these guys over.
There's separation with SmackDown and Raw. This is what they were going to do in AEW with Collision, was going to be totally separate from Wednesday night's Dynamite programs. And it was going to be two different crews. So this wasn't going to happen. So, that's a way to do it as well. And that way he and Seth Rollins really won't have any altercations with each other.
Yeah.
I go back to the very beginning of all this drama that began about a little over a year ago in that press conference. Bill, do you think had Tony Khan stepped in when CM Punk started to kind of deliver that speech that everybody paid attention to, if Tony had calmed it down then, would we be here today?
No, I don't think so. I think Tony Khan needed to put down that although CM Punk was the draw, that Tony Khan is the boss.
I think that's been the biggest issue. I think the lack of saying, I'm the boss, I'm the one that pays you, you will do what I ask you to do, or you can take a hike. I mean, it's that freaking simple. But it seems like Tony, I don't know if he's just trying to be too nice, if he's trying just to be one of the boys, whatever it may be, but he's got to stop. It's like trying to be a parent after a divorce. You can't be the child's friend. You still have to be the parent, and you still have to do things to train and tell people what you expect them to do.
Well, you know what? On the coattails of what you just said, maybe Tony Khan is not that kind of person. However, most successful wrestling organizations have that one person in the organization that is that, I don't know if you want to call him the enforcer or the Teddy. What would they call that?
Well, there's always been a guy that's been maybe the locker room captain,
exactly.
the head of the locker room, and that was Taker. Anytime you had problems, you know what I mean, you could go to Taker and talk to him, and he could, talk to Vince or whatever. But like if there was guys that were having problems, if there was some kind of argument or something, Taker would always step in right there and straighten things out, and get things back to normal, where you didn't even have to go to the office or go to Vince. Taker would calm things down. There has to be a leader. That's what I was saying about the leadership. You got guys there, and God bless Jake the Snake Roberts. I love Jake. Jake is the leader there. If those guys would give Jake the opportunity to be the boss there, Jake could do a lot. And I just really believe that, just knowing Jake. So, and Billy Gunn was there, another guy that would be great.
JR has been in that position before, so he knows.
Well, I'm just looking for
people. The head of talent relations.
I'm just looking for people that are not going to be so nice. So that's what that's what you got to have now.
You know what? Let's not let Jungle Boy off the hook here.
No.
He precipitated this issue, allegedly talking about wanting to use going through real glass, and Punk with an automobile thing or whatever it was. And Punk was saying, no, we don't do that. We're trying to keep you guys safe. So there was just this intense aggravation between the two of them. And I think Jungle Boy, maybe he just wanted Punk out of this company, and he pushed the wrong buttons, and Punk lost it.
But let me tell you something. Somewhere down the line, Jungle Boy felt comfortable with doing that. So this guy evidently thought he was going to get away with it, or he thought that everybody was going to like it. He was just too comfortable. So like I said, that just comes from poor leadership. You should have a locker room meeting, before your TVs, or even once a month, and get down and talk to your talent, let them know what they can do and what they can do and what their purpose is, why you are here. You're not here to dress up and walk out on TV with a brand new pair of boots. You are here to sell tickets. You are here to draw money. So you need to, and you're here to also keep yourself a professional at all times. So it's just things that guys should know that maybe they're not being told. I don't know.
I do want to mention
back in the old days, nobody would ever cross Gorilla Monsoon. He worked for Vince McMahon, and if Monsoon told you something, you were scared of him. He was Teddy. You knew Monsoon, correct?
And they wouldn't do it to Jay Strongbow either.
I agree. Totally agree.
Well, I mean, here's the
fear of God in these guys.
The biggest problem that I see from all of this really is the business should have remained in the back. It should never have come forward. It's unfortunate that our business has become that everything that happens behind the scenes has become the news, and the show has become less interesting than what's happening behind the stage. That drives me crazy. Guys, business stays in the back. It always has, always should be. If you're not doing that, that's a major mistake. A lot of this may have been calmed down had it not been for everybody going to social media saying, hey, you know what happened just a minute ago backstage? That kills the business. Don't do that.
Mac, agreed. But you know what? Just to let you know that somebody had this planned out, that CM Punk, when he got to the airport in England, there was nobody there to pick him up. He went by public transportation, and the fans showed him where to go. I mean, seriously, if there was somebody out to disturb him or get him and get him out of the company, that was the start of it that night.
That has been my contention for a long time, and I may be way wrong. I don't know, like we say, none of us were there backstage. We don't know what really happened. But I still feel like CM Punk has been set up for a fall since he first showed up. I feel like he was just never wanted. So they were almost pushing him out of the company, causing issues and problems that didn't need to be there. This guy, still to this day, the day that we're recording right now, the top merchandise seller for AEW today is CM Punk. Yeah. You're going to lose all of that money. You're going to lose the viewers. You're going to lose the t-shirt sales, the figures, and everything else because you couldn't calm down long enough to get everybody together and say, guys, we need to work this out, and we can make a lot of money doing this. Instead, no leadership. And that's a true shame, I think, in the business. I do want to mention real quick that Mark Henry made a statement about the whole thing. And Mark Henry, of course, works with AEW. And his comment was this: the problem is gone. The problem is solved. Now you can freely go there and there'll be no more complaining. There should be no more complaining. The problem is gone. The so-called problem is everything should be and giggles and unicorn pee and rainbow blankets. That's what it should be now. I'm curious to see how it's going to be because the problem is solved. There's a lot of things you could read into those comments from Mark Henry, and I think that he's saying, okay, well, if CM Punk is the problem, he's gone, so these problems don't exist anymore, right? So he doesn't expect to see that problem anymore.
Jack Perry is indefinitely suspended at this point as well.
Good. Well, I think a lot of decisions were made hastily. I agree with Teddy. I don't think the CM Punk needed to be fired. Again, I don't know what happened backstage for sure. None of us do. But it seems like, in the old days, the guys would have just beat each other's asses in a room and it would have been over with and everybody would have gone home, happy. Well, that's just how it was.
This is not the old days now. You could probably, if that might have happened, Punk may have injured him, beat him up real bad. Next thing you know, you got a big lawsuit there. You know what I mean? He's suing AEW plus CM Punk. So back in the day, you didn't have to worry about nothing like that. They even kept it quiet. They beat your ass when nobody even know about it, but the boys. Yeah. So, it's different now. Everybody's got a cell phone. So you just certain things you just can't do.